So funny. So first thing I wanted to show you that come in my mail today. Have you heard of this?
No.
The 5-minute. It's beautiful for a start. I really love it. But it's like talks about like where is it? It's got like accountability tips and some beautiful tips in the beginning. But what I got it for is it's a page a day, and it's got your outline for you. So you date it, and then it's got I am grateful for, what would make today great, daily affirmations, I am ... and then before you go to bed, 3 amazing things that happened today. How could I have made my day even better?
Cool.
That just one page, and just to journal for 5, and it wouldn't even take you 5 minutes to do that. I love it. So I wanted to show your team that, and really recommend it to everybody. And it's got at the top, weekly challenge, write a list titled My Word. Now write down all the comments you made. How will you honor them?
I like that. That's really cool.
It's just got little, like the next one, it's got like tips from like little quotes and stuff from all different people and Dr. Zeus. It's just cool. It's really cool. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys that because I think it's incredible, and I think journaling is super important. I love how Tony Robbins says, our life is so great. Why would we not want to write it? Like, why would we not want to remember it? Why would we not want to document it? And I think, oh, that's so true. So tonight, me and Hyde thought we'd talk a little bit about, how to get out of your comfort zone, how to actually talk to people, how to talk to people that we don't know, how to talk to people on the phone, and a bit of role playing, I think, is always the funnest way to do that. So I thought we might touch on that a little bit tonight. And I just wanted to touch on how to set your strategy and create clarity, because it's so much easier to get to where you want to go when you know how to do it, and don't be afraid when it's fuzzy, because there's a great quote by a gentleman named Bob Proctor or something like that, and he goes, if you can see how to get if you can see your goal, like if you can see the path to your goal, it's not big enough. So I love that too. Like, it's normal to know like what to do, but it to be like, oh my goodness, work it out as you go kind of thing. So I want to talk about that tonight as well. So we might start with some role-playing, Hides. How does that sound? Just 3 in the deep end. But how about you be my prospect?
I'll be your prospect. Okay, cool. Yep.
So, because I know I was talking to Hides a couple of days ago, and she was just saying how a couple of ladies in her team were saying about, how we talk to people when we randomly see them at a park or wherever it may be that we see people. Like, how do we generate that conversation? And I was just saying to Hides before, when Cassandra House was over for dinner the other night, she was saying that when she sees people, she says to them, like, wherever they are, even like in Woolies, like it can be anywhere, especially people of different cultures and stuff like that, and different backgrounds, and you can tell in their different dress sense and things like that. She goes, oh my goodness, you are so beautiful. Where are you from? I think that is really cool, because I often see people and think, wow, they are stunning. You know what I mean? When you see that, and who doesn't want to hear that? My goodness, you are stunning. Where are you from? I love what you're wearing, and just generate conversation. I'll be like, oh, thank you so much. I'm from Japan or wherever it might be, and say, oh, and how long have you been here in Australia, or however you want to generate conversation. I hope you're loving it, and just work it from there. You get some people that, I'm not going to lie. Sometimes people are like, oh yeah, good. And they sort of keep going. But, they're not really people that you want in your life anyway, so just let them keep going. And then sometimes you'll get people that will start to initiate conversation back. They might have a couple of kids with them. How old are your kids? Or, you might see them at school drop off. And so you've got kids at school, you live around here or whatever, and start to – honestly, I believe what feels more comfortable to say is the right thing to say. You just kind of know where it's going to go. Just go with what feels real and what feels genuine. If you're standing there thinking, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to say, just take a breath, relax, and hand it over to them, So if you pause for a minute, they're feeling that too. They'll probably ask you something, You know, you've just given them a compliment, so they'll probably say something to you. And if you stand there and stare weirdly at each other and you leave and it was weird, you'll know next time it'll be easier, because you'll be like, okay, don't stand there and look weird. I'm going to say this. Does that make sense? You know what I mean, Hyde? And I'm not going to lie, I've totally done that. You learn by doing. And I think sometimes we want a script on how to do this, you know, but there really isn't one. It's just do what feels real and what feels natural. And for every situation you come across, it will be completely different. I've met ladies at the coffee line because they dropped money on the ground, you know, and where they dropped it, we both went to pick it up at the same time. We sort of like hit each other's hands and stuff. And I started laughing and I stood up and instead of just smiling and giving it back to her, and her turning back around, I smiled and I said, how you going? And I said, my name's Denny. And she's like, oh, hi, Denny, I'm Cheryl. And it started to chat. You know, most people in that situation would just give the money and she'd just turn around and go back about their day. But because I said, how are you? And introduced myself, it generated conversation. So it's just little things like that, you know, compliments, introducing yourself, getting off your phone. Don't be on your phone. People won't come and sit next to you and start a conversation if you're on your phone. And you'll be surprised how many people you can meet. I know it probably sounds a bit over the top. I remember when I saw Tony Robbins in Sydney, and he said, it will change your life if you walk around thinking, I love everyone. And when someone walks past you, think, I love you. And I know I'm like, what? But it does. Does that make sense, Bud Hyde? Do you know what I mean? Like when you just generally think that you care for people and you like everybody, it's so much easier to just start talking, because our natural subconscious mind's like, oh my goodness, look at her shirt. Does she not have a mirror in her house? And we start to think these things, and they're awful things, but you know, we all think these things from time to time, and it stops if that wall goes up and you don't talk. You know, yeah. Anyway.
Good. It's really helpful. It's really, really good.
You want to share anything?
Yeah. I got a quick question though, Dan.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, when you make that connection with people and then you make that friendship.
Yeah.
How long would you normally wait before you then, you know, ask them about their passions and what they need, you know, what they want? Like how long would you normally wait? What sort of a connection would you develop first with them? Like, would you see them a few times, or would you do it then and there, or would you, like, I guess that's probably what a few people, like I know with myself, even sometimes, like I struggle with that, to know when.
I could see Glenn in the background. I want to be like, hi, Glenn. Anyway, I know exactly what you mean. And I think it's different for everyone, you know, and it's different. Like I met a mum at the school once, and we sent our daughters in, and she was standing next to me, and I just said to her, hi, how are you? And she goes, oh, good, how are you? And I said, good. I said, so is this your little girl here, the little blonde one? And she said, yeah. And I said, what's her name? You know, just I'm being a bit specific on how I generated the conversation. And we started talking about that, and then I said, I'm Denny, and she said that she was Amanda, and I said, and what do you do for work? And she goes, I'm actually at home. I used to be a teacher, but I'm probably going to have to go back soon, and it breaks my heart, she said to me. And I went, oh, really? And she goes, yeah, she had another little girl holding another little girl's hand. And she said, I really love being at home with them. And, you know, teaching is not a 9-to-5 job. It's a big job. And yeah. And I said, oh yeah, okay. And she said, what do you do? And I said, I actually work from home. I'm in network marketing. I said, have you ever heard of Arbonne before? And she's like, no, I haven't. So I went straight into it then, because the situation felt perfect. You know, and I said, much like you, I used to actually run a family daycare, and it was just too hard. And I was really struggling with it. I wanted to be at home with my kids more, and I just didn't want the pressure that come with all of that. I wanted my own thing, and not something I ever saw myself doing, because I really didn't. I never saw myself selling skincare, I suppose, you know, but I love it. I really love it. I love the community of it. I love calling my own hours. And she's like, and you're doing well out of it. And I said, yeah, definitely. I said, I'm fortunate enough. I've been doing the business for, you know, a couple of years now, and I matched a teacher's income, you know, 1.5 years into my business. And she was like, wow, okay. So, and if, you know, you're someone who's a district manager at that point, or a new consultant, you can say, yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. And, you know, my sponsor, she was telling me the other day, she matched a teacher's income in 1.5 years. So borrow the belief. You know, use someone else's story if yours isn't there yet. And no, it will be there. But no one starts with their story there. That's how they, you know, you grow it from there. So, and there's been plenty of times I've said, yeah, my sponsor Stacey, she's a high school HPE teacher, and she was just tired of working that 40-hour week. So she slowly dropped it back. And after 12 months, she was able to stop teaching and just be with her boys. So I said that a lot, you know, before I was able to say my story. So in that situation, I could present the business straight away. I've got another friend, and I've been seeing her back and forth, and she just hasn't shown any interest in me yet, if that makes sense. You know, some people are really generally interested in you, and some people are just sort of tell you all about them and, you know, don't ever even ask you how your day was. She's kind of like that, but she's lovely. I do like her. She makes me laugh. She's a really lovely lady. And I can be I was a bit like that before I got into the business. I was that person who was just thinking what I could say next instead of just letting them tell me their story, because I love to talk. So I had to learn to shut up and listen big time. So if I can, she can too. And so anyway, I said, you know, we've been chatting back and forth, and her son's been in Andy's grade. So we've been chatting for a year now, and we just organised a coffee date the other day, and I finally got the courage to ring her and said to her, I said, hey, honey, I'm just double checking we're still good for our coffee tomorrow morning after school drop. And she's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to you coming over. And I said, I haven't told you before too, but I'm actually an Arbonne consultant, and I was hoping you might let me do a facial on you tomorrow so I can practice using some of the products. We've just got a new slideshow, and I'd like to get that out there too. And she's like, oh, are you? Yeah, that would be great. Bring it over. And I was like, okay. So I incorporated it like that, and I just wheeled in my little bag and set up a little facial, and then I got the slideshow out, and I said, we've got a new slideshow, and I just want to present it to you for practice for me. And she's like, yeah, of course. So I just went through and told her about the business and told her about everything, and it was great. She ordered the RE9 set, and she ordered a primer as well, and yeah, so it was really cool. And I said to her if she had any referrals and stuff for me, and she's like, I'll think about it and let you know. I think I actually do have a few. So, and now Fortune's in the follow-up like everyone. It's just keeping that connection there, asking her how products are going and how she's been going with that follow-up. And I'll just keep reminding her I'm really close to an elevation. And, you know, after you follow up a handful of times, they'll give you what you need. They'll say, oh, yes, okay, I'm going to do it for you, I promise. And it starts to come. But Fortune's in the follow-up, such a big tip. But, yeah, so it's different depending on the situation, you know, depending on the person. And some people you feel so comfortable. Magic happens outside your comfort zone. The further outside your comfort zone you are, chances are the more magic you're about to experience. So I'm such a believer in putting yourself out there, and it's never, if you're waiting for the time when there's no butterflies, it ain't going to happen. The butterflies are there. They're always there. And I think that they're a good thing. Embrace them. Do you know how many people would kill for an opportunity to have the butterflies? Because that means they're on the brink of having an opportunity. So yeah.
That's cool.
That's a big answer. Oh, do you have any other questions on that? Did I?
No, not much. No.
You're like, don't have another hour, Dan. Oh, funny. And I wanted to touch on a few phone call demonstrations for you guys too, because I've been really stressing it lately, and a lot of you guys are probably like, oh, here she goes on about the phone calls again. But it really is something that will help you so much. And I think the more you hear it, the more it's just going to roll off your tongue as well. But I've been noticing in the team, just across the team, spikes. And the people who are spiking, I've been giving a call and saying, can you just explain the difference between this month and last month? Because I'm noticing a spike in your business and I'm noticing a spike in your team. And they're like, yeah, we're calling. We're getting on the phone. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so powerful when you get on the phone. So, and just something as easy as, you know, sending out a message to people on Facebook, hey, hun, can I just get your phone number so I can give you a quick bell? That's it. And then they'll send the phone number back to you. You don't need to start with the product. Always remember, people buy what you do, not what, no, sorry, don't remember that. Always remember, people buy why you do it, not what you do. It's so important. So where we get hung up is we start to sell you know, so we go with what we do first. Imagine it like a circle like this. This is the best way I can describe it. So this is how it works. Now my pen's not working. Okay, and this is why. Okay, this is what we do, how we do it, why we do it. Oh, sorry. What, how, why. And we all start here. You know, someone with no training who comes into the business and just tries to wing it. And we've all done it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. You're here learning now, which means you want to step up, which is awesome. So, but we all start here. You know, we say, hi, my name's Denny. You know, I'm an Arbonne independent consultant. I sell beautiful skincare. It's pure, safe and beneficial, and we don't test on animals. We've been around for 35 years, and Petamork is amazing. It's such a vision for women, and blah, 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 you know, and we go off with what we do and how, you know, we believe what we do so much, you know, and we're so in love with it, and we can see the passion and the opportunity. And so, but this person can't. And we're just like, blah, 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 you know, with what we do. And then we say how we do it. So that's what I do. And how I do it is through network marketing, which is like this system where we skip the middleman and we go straight from the warehouse straight to the wholesaler, and you get a 6-star product at a 3-star rate because we're cutting out all these middlemen, and it's so fantastic. And that's how we get paid so well. Want to buy some? And they're like, oh, I don't really need skincare at the moment. I'm pretty good. Yeah, like, and that's what nearly everybody does. What is so powerful, and when you get the concept of this, and this comes from Steve Jobs, by the way. He's the one who's, you know, where this concept's come from. And I think he knew how to sell computers anyway. So you start with your why. So, for example, you just heard that, what I just said then. So instead of that, hi, my name's Denny, you know, and give them a bit of background about what you do. So I say, when people say, so what do you do? What is it? I go, oh, well, you know, I used to actually work in family daycare. I used to have my own family daycare center at my house, but I just got really tired with trying to run that and the kids. And I felt like I was at the mecca of how much income I could make doing that. And I just have so many bigger dreams and bigger visions and lots of things I would love to achieve. And I realized I couldn't do it doing that anymore. I was playing small, almost, you could say. And I was really tired with the kids all the time and stuff. And then my auntie told me about Arbonne, which is not something I ever saw myself doing, but she spoke a lot about financial freedom and time freedom. And there's something that I thought could really help me, you know, in achieving ultimately what I want to achieve. So I jumped on board. So now I'm in network marketing and I absolutely love it. And, you know, what we do is start this way. So now I'm in network marketing and I absolutely love it. It's like a distribution system. It's just recommendation selling. I show people how to take what they're already using and use something that's safer and better for them. Our products are beautiful. They're pure, safe and beneficial and really good for your skin, and everyone loves them. And, you know, the company is a beautiful company. We've been around for 35 years and as just strong as ever. We're on the brink of being $1 million company. And, yeah, I really love it. Can I come over and give you a facial? Show you a bit more about it? See the power flip? Yeah. Does that make sense? Sorry. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Except for the tiny bit at the ending. It was a bit short to the point. I think I was like, whoa, wait a second.
I'm looking at the clock thinking this is going over a minute because it's supposed to keep it under 60 seconds. But I'm trying to be a bit thorough too, to explain it, you know, more than if I was talking to someone, I probably wouldn't have been as thorough and as in detail as that, but you kind of get the gist. And, you know, it's the sort of thing that the more you do, the better your wording gets with it as well. Yeah. What was I going to say? But yeah, so when you call somebody on the phone, start with your why, which is your I story, which is found on iDesign in the very first tiles. If you haven't done that yet, it's so important to do that. You would think I was a little bit crazy if you saw how many times I've said my I story to myself in the mirror. A lot. Yeah, it helped me get it really right. And that's where I start. So when people send me their phone number, I call them up and I tell them my I story straight away and say, this is in the beginning of my business. I would say I would love so much to book in a call with Stacey, my sponsor. Stacey's been doing it a bit longer than me, so she can just answer your questions a lot quicker than I can, and I'm still learning. So when I'm listening to her, I'm learning as I'm going as well. So, and I'd really value your feedback in the whole lot as well. So, you know, could I schedule a call for us to chat about it? Yeah, absolutely. You sound like you're really loving it. I'd love to hear a bit more about it. Cool. And just go from there. So, yeah, haven't done much role playing. I've just been talking the whole time. Where did I put my notes now? Here they are. So I'll just really quickly talk a little bit about clarity, and then did you have any more questions on the phone call stuff, Heights? No. Cool. When Cass House was here the other day, she spoke about finding your four, and I just remembered I haven't done a training with you guys in a while about, we did a training on this, you know, about a year ago, I think, roughly, and I remember that there's new faces coming through all the time, and I'd love to do it again really quick and just explain to you guys your ultimate goal in my ultimate goal in Arbonne, and everyone's goals are different, but for me, if I was a new consultant coming into the business or just starting or been in it for a little bit and getting off the ground, my goal still is to find your four. Find your four people that if you had a multi-million-dollar business, who would you want sitting around your table discussing business plans with? You know, picture your, you know, beautiful, you know, hotel or whatever it is with, you know, Noble Enterprises at the top. You know, who do you picture sitting around the table looking out over whatever view you love? You know, if I love trees and land and stuff, so, you know, I picture like that. So people are like, whatever, doesn't matter. You're getting my drift. Like that caliber of people, who do you see sitting around the table? Find your four people that you would be honored to work with every day, that you love being around, that stand, you know, when you go into a room, they stand out because you can tell they're so kind, and, you know, them people, they're your four. They're who you want to find. So find your four and take them to district. So basically what happens is once you find your four, you become district, right? They join your business, they buy their startup packs, you become a district manager. And the way you find your four is in activity, obviously, at your presentations, at your tote drops, who you already know, doing your phone calls, ringing around, offering the business to everybody. And like I was saying before about that lady at the school, sometimes I can see in her that, you know, she hasn't asked me many questions about me yet, but she's very fun loving out there person, and I can see a lot of potential in her still. So, you know, ask everybody, because you never know who needs it the most and what people have been through and how you can really change their life in terms of sprinkling some positivity and some self-belief and some encouragement and recommending the right books. So find your four. I'm getting so off track tonight. Sign them up, and then you become a district manager. Then you teach them to find their four, okay? And then they sign up. Therefore, you become an area manager, and it just goes on from that four, if that makes sense. You need to be the best leader that you can be to find these four, okay? It's so important that you lead from the front and that you're the consultant you're looking for. The reality is it comes down to a commitment thing, I suppose. You know, really ask yourself how committed to your business you are. If you're, you know, 5 out of 10 committed, you're not going to sponsor people above a 5 in commitment. That's not, you know, the best actors in the world can't cover this up. You can go to a barbecue and pretend that you're a level 10 committed, but people know that you're not. You know, they can see that. And someone who has the commitment level that you want at your table of your enterprise is a level 10. So you need to be a level 10. You need to show up. And then you'll find your four, and you'll be surprised how fast that starts to happen. I was looking for 4. I honestly feel that I have at least 7 now, from the moment I really stepped up and stepped into leadership, and I've, you know, stopped expecting people to do what I wasn't doing and really started to lead from the front. So when you do that, you find your 4. When you find your 4, you become a district manager. When you're leading from the front like that too, you're showing them how to become a district manager. They will become district managers. You become an area manager. Then you show them all how to become area managers because you've just done it. They all become regions. Arbonne's not it's not like I'm just going to try and hope and wish and see and set this goal and see if it'll just come up and poof, it's going to come about because magic's going to happen overnight. It's a strategy. It's a system, and it's a business, and you work, you know, you've got to constantly have the system in mind to have the clarity for what you're looking for. So I love the skills circle too. I talk about that all the time. You guys have probably seen it 100 times over. I do it every month. You know this, you would have seen this, Hides, how I evaluate my skills at the end of every month. There's 7 skills in this business to help you find your 4, you know, and to help you take your 4 to the next level. So, you know, you can you read them, Hides? Do you want me to say them out loud?
It's inviting, prospecting. Yes, please.
Good try. Inviting, prospecting, following up, closing, getting people started, promoting events, and finding prospects. They're like your 7 main skills. And you can Google every single section of these and a world of information will come up to help you grow that skill. So, take responsibility for that and work it out. At the end of the month, you might be like, I've been rocking my presentations this month. They're like a solid 10. I haven't done a party under 1,000 PQV. So obviously I'm doing really well with my presentations. I haven't signed up anybody though. So maybe I'm not doing so well on inviting people into the business. I might need to zone in on that this month. That might be my skill I need to work on. Finding prospects. I haven't really met anybody new this month, so I'll work on that one as well. Promoting events. Yep, I went to AAC and I had 3 team members with me. So I'm feeling good at promoting events. My team all know about the leadership retreat coming up in January. They've got it on their calendar. They're going for it. You know, what other events and incentives and things are going on? Do your team know about that? You've got to be promoting them things. They're so important. So where's that at? Oh gosh, I haven't even told my team about leadership retreat. So my promoting events is probably down a bit. Getting people started. Yeah, I did start someone this month and she's doing awesomely. She's well enough. So I feel like I've given her a really good start. And, you know, work your way around. Be really honest with yourself. Following up. I've got a list of follow-ups, so I need to get to that. So I'll probably give myself a 5 out of 10 for following up. And then at the end, you can see like a wheel like this. And you can see where you need to go to work. And I always say to people, imagine these are the wheels on your Merc. How far is your Merc going to go? You know, like to get your Merc, we've got to have a nice wheel. Yeah, if that makes sense. So that's a great way to evaluate where you're at and what could be potentially holding you back and, finding your blind spots, so to speak. And I just wanted to close up tonight talking about the power of growing yourself, of self-development. It's so important. Cass put it in such a great way here the other night. She was saying this business is 2 parts, growing and asking. You can't do one and not the other. If you're not doing both, you're not doing any. And it's so true. So she explained, you know yourself when you grow, when you pick up something and when you read it and it starts to fill you. I've been reading this book at the moment. It's called Chicken Soup for the Soul by Jack Canfield. And I just read a little bit every day. And it just fills my heart with so much gratitude and joy that I want to ask somebody to join me. Does that make sense? Like, you start to grow and you read a book on that teaches you to back yourself. And you start to read that, Peter Bood's 6 Months to Six Figures. Oh, incredible book. You start to read that and then all these ideas start popping into your mind. Who does that? You get halfway to the bottom of the page and you have to stop because your mind's like going to explode because you're like, oh, I haven't asked that person. I haven't asked that person. I could set up a stall there. I could ask that person to do a presentation. And by the time you get to the bottom of the page, your mind's exploding and now the ask happens. And then you start asking and people can see that you're growing, so they join you. And now people are joining you. You need to grow even more because now you want to become a leader because you've got people following you and you're inspired to lead them. So now, Game of Thrones is not even interesting at all because you have a team and you're so passionate about that. And you're like, I got a team and Denny said this book and this book and this book and I haven't read them yet and I want to get them into my brain ASAP and I'm excited to read them. So you start to read and then guess what happens? You read and the same thing happens again and now you're asking even more people and your team just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and you just start growing more and more and more. And when she said that, I was like, that's exactly how it works. It is exactly how this business works. It's so, so true. And you're a reader, Hides. You could relate. Yeah. Great book. And doesn't it do that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think I've had this book for 2 days. I'm already up to page 62.
Good stuff.
It's just really awesome how to win friends and influence people. Yeah, I just couldn't put it down this morning.
I love that book. I didn't realize how intelligent Abraham Lincoln was.
Yeah.
Until I read it, I'm like, I actually admire this man. He's got some really great stuff they talk about in the beginning. Yeah. So, oh, that's so cool. But it is. And you can even probably say now, Hides, like since you've started reading, how many people have you asked opposed to before you started reading?
Yeah, true. Well, I've got a lot more confidence and be able to talk to them and stuff, which is good. So, yeah. Which is awesome. But it's only on my second day. Like, it's my second day.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, but that's not your first book.
No.
Your second day of reading that book. A lot of other books that you've read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well and truly.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed tonight. Do you have anything else you want to add? Any tips or anything you want to add tonight, Hides? No, it's been good, babe. It's been good. We had a good night. All right, well, I'm going to end the recording. So everyone out there, have a great day and night, and we'll talk to you soon. Mwah.
Thanks, Danny.